Hello, my name's Wayne Ergel. Welcome to this video. Today I want to talk about search and introduce you to a new end-to-end content system for AI search called AEO, which I will talk about in more detail later. But first, let's look at what's happening with search. Search is changing right now. It's not going to change, it's changing now. And the evidence is everywhere. Google AI overviews are appearing more and more in search results. ChatGPT referral traffic is going up. Perplexity has literally launched their own browser, which at the time of this recording, I believe is in beta test for certain users. Google searches are ending without clicks. That, of course, has made their content creators very unhappy. Their AI overviews are giving people the information they need, and people aren't clicking. The death of traditional SEO. The death of traditional SEO. Is it really dead? I don't think so, but it is changing. And then answer engine optimization. That term, it seems to be the one that's sticking, or at least sticking in my mind, on AI search. That's primarily what we're going to talk about today. But again, I would say that the time is now. Search isn't going to change. It's literally changing. So let's take a look at a pretty simple and hopefully sort of fun search. And we're going to look at Google, Perplexity, ChatGPT, and Claude. Okay? Our search term is best hamburger in Nashville. And as I said a moment ago, and I can attest to right now, this stuff is changing every day. Yesterday, when I was getting ready for this video, I used this same search term, and there was an AI overview. So, best hamburger in Nashville, and a big AI overview right here. And it's gone. It's nowhere to be seen. So I'm scrolling all the way to the bottom. Nothing but normal stuff. So this looks like a search result from a year ago, or maybe a little longer, where we've got local search, we've got articles with the best burger joints in Nashville, which would list, the best 10 or whatever. Some Reddit stuff, another best burger article. No AI overview. And I found that really surprising. I did some other searches like best video recorder and that kind of stuff, and none of them had AI overviews, which prior to today, they all had that. I was getting AI overviews for just about every search. So definitely something's changed there, at least for me, at least for today. So anyway, that's my Google results. What does Perplexity look like? Best hamburger in Nashville. We start with a very short statement that Nashville has good burgers, and then a bunch of really good information. For me, this is the best result. We've got the place, we've got the website, directions, we could call them. I haven't clicked on this stuff. I don't want to do it now because I don't know where it would take me in the video, but information about flavor, cooking technique, that kind of stuff. So you've got a picture, map, a little description, and all the information you would need for each one of these places. And for me, that works really well. And then, of course, you can use Perplexity's, related questions and ask more stuff, and it'll give you that information. So that's Perplexity. What does ChatGPT look like? Best hamburger in Nashville. Here are some top spots. Must-try burger spots, Dream Burger. Some of the same ones, but some different ones. I don't remember Redheaded Stranger being one of them, and so there it is. But anyway, a list, just a name and a bullet point, so no pictures. Some other highly recommended spots. Local accolades. They do have a little table, quick pick guide, what to try first. So pretty good, but for me, you look back here and you get these images and the maps. I think Perplexity did better. Now, here's Claude, and I'll tell you, I use Claude for everything, basically. I use it for all my workflow creation and prompting and all kinds of stuff. But in search, it did not do a very good job, in my opinion. We just only got text, highly rated options, some links to articles. There's nothing appealing about this site. Again, I go back to Perplexity, and, I feel like I've got everything I need to know right here, plus a nice visual appeal. Claude does not provide that. So of the four, I think it was kind of the worst results. Perplexity, again, being the best. I don't have any interest or connection to Perplexity. It just happens to be what I use most of the time for AI search. I just wanted to show the results for a fairly simple search term and what they look like in the different sort of well-known search engines. And then I guess the real question that we're trying to get back to is, how do you get in here? When someone types in whatever search term is relevant for you, how do you show up in the AI search results? That's what we're going to be talking about more, as far as how Echo will help you in creating content to get found in the AI search results. Let's talk a little bit about what's at stake right now. You sort of had two options, I guess. You could stay with the status quo, meaning you're doing the same things as you have been, traditional keyword-focused strategies, fighting with Google over search algorithm changes, hoping that you're not hit by one of them, and you're competing on keywords and rankings with other similar sites. So now let's consider the Echo approach and what's now possible. We can understand audiences at unprecedented depth, and I'm going to get to that in a minute, but we've talked for years about doing content to meet search intent, and I'm not sure we ever really knew the search intent, and now I think we can get to that. And then creating content at scale for the specific audiences. So we're really diving deep into the different types of audiences for products and services and creating content specifically for them at scale. And then we're publishing it everywhere, not just a website. So that's the real differences in the Echo approach and what we're doing now. So a little bit closer look at Echo. Here it is. It's AI-powered DNA analysis. So we've got brand, audience, and competitive DNA report. So these dig into the brand. They check to see if you're staying on brand, are you missing topics, or that kind of thing. I'm going to have a video on that, but it's an incredibly in-depth report. The audience DNA, we're looking in and finding the different audience types for the products and services. And that to me is really, really helpful in creating content. And then there's competitive DNA. So we're looking at, not unlike we've done in traditional SEO, at our competitors, finding where they're doing good things and where we could do them as well. So those three reports power the DNA analysis. That gives us this very deep audience understanding. It discovers what really drives decisions, and it's not a 18 to 72-year-old man who lives in Omaha who makes $27,000. None of that, I don't feel like, made a lot of sense ever. But whether it did or not, we take a different look at it. We're really digging in and understanding the emotions and psychology of the different audience types, and I'll show you an example of that in just a moment. And then, as I mentioned, we're going to do targeted content at scale. Previously, you might have thought of, hey, this is an audience we could target, but how hard was it to do that content? What we need to be able to do is create content for your target audiences at scale, and Echo gives you that capability. And then finally, we want to make sure that it's optimized for AI discovery. We know, again, the world's changing day by day. One day Google's got AI overviews, the next they don't. My wife, who is not technical, is using ChatGPT for search. It is definitely coming, and it's coming to the masses, and you need to be able to make sure your content is optimized to show up in those results. It is a complete n8n workflow system that automates the entire process. Now, I'm not going to show the workflow today. I have a bunch of videos coming on that, but just suffice to say, it's a very comprehensive workflow. It's very modular, so throughout we're doing modules to do the different things in the workflow. That way we can change as needed, we can add, we can take away, we can adapt to the changes in search. So I'd say, put it another way, is that we've moved away in Echo from keyword-driven content strategies, and instead we're creating targeted content strategies, and that content is being generated at scale using AI. So I want to talk a little bit about why audience DNA understanding matters so much, and I think it's the foundation of effective content. As I said earlier, we've talked for a long time. We as the collective, maybe you solved this, but in general, I'm creating content for this search intent, but did we ever really understand what people wanted to know? Now with Echo, we're able to do this a lot better. So let's take a hypothetical example. I made up a company called Big Dog Fitness. Here's their slogan: our audience is fitness enthusiasts. Okay, what ground does that cover? Are you a Pilates guy or are you a powerlifting guy? It's too broad, but let's take a look at what our audience DNA reveals, and now we see something that we can use to create content. We've got the intimidated beginner. That's a woman over 50. She fears gym judgment, doesn't want to go in there and have people looking at her, hasn't done strength training probably ever in her life, wants home privacy, but has no idea how to do it. And she's scared of getting hurt. She's scared she doesn't know how to do it. So you've got an audience type that you could create content for right there. The home gym power lifter. Same company, Big Dog Fitness, can sell to the intimidated beginner and to the home gym power lifter. Both of them need strength equipment. There's a difference though. The home gym power lifter needs a bar that can hold 800 pounds. Maybe that's getting way up there, of course, but not out of question. But it's a different type of super strong, high quality strength equipment. They need squat racks, benches, all of that kind of stuff that they would find in a powerlifting gym at their home. Another audience type, the CrossFit competitor. And just to stop for a moment here, I'm a weightlifter guy, have been for my whole life, and it's easy to make these analogies for me, so that's what I'm doing here. Anyway, CrossFit competitor, they're a cross between a strength trainer and a functional trainer. CrossFitters run, swim, bike, jump rope, jump on boxes, slam balls, wall balls, all this stuff. Plus, they do Olympic lifting. Plus, they do powerlifting. So you've got a whole audience type there. And now that we know these three types, Big Dog Fitness can create content for them. They could create a whole series of articles for the intimidated beginner, a whole series of videos on it, home gym powerlifter, CrossFitter. And what they now have is they truly understand their audience, and now they know exactly what content to create. And that's what Echo is going to deliver. So the other key piece of it is AI-powered content creation at scale. And I know that we've been able to create content at scale. I have workflows that will create multiple blog posts about, and it does keyword research and does all this stuff. We've had that. But now I think we've moved into an area with new AI tools, especially in the video realm, that we can create this stuff quickly and reasonably inexpensively, especially compared to how much it used to cost. So what's possible now for our guys at Big Dog Fitness is they can write articles, blog articles, addressing specific things. So for the intimidated beginner, it's, here's how to set up for your exercises, content directly related to that person, video content briefs, so you can have a content brief for creating a video, series of videos for your audience type. And then, of course, as I just mentioned, we've got AI-generated videos capabilities, HeyGen, VO3, and all kinds of other platforms. And who knows what's going to be around tomorrow. And that's what Echo is doing. Is it's, as I said, it's very modular in the way it's built. And that's going to allow us in the future to change out. So if HeyGen's the right one today and another, video creation platform comes along tomorrow that has a different slant on it or just works better, we'll be able to adapt to that. So this AI-powered stuff, like search, is changing daily, new tools all the time, and we are creating a system that allows those changes to happen. And then finally, of course, content repurposed for social media. There are people who would tell you don't really even need a website anymore, and I wouldn't go quite that far yet, but how far away are we from that? But you do need to post your stuff. So whether it's social media, and if your audience hangs out at Facebook or YouTube or TikTok or wherever it is, find it and repurpose that content. So you can have a blog article explaining this topic, and then create 5 Twitter or X posts for the next week and schedule them and have them updating throughout the day. So All of that stuff is going to be possible through Echo. And what we see here is that AI tools turn audience insights into content that connects everywhere. So it's posting, it's publishing everywhere that your audience lives. And I think if I were to summarize it all, at least in my head, I would say the content landscape has shifted. And the good news is the opportunities are massive. When have we known so much information about our audience? And this isn't manipulation and, as NFL broadcasters say, trickeration. We're not trying to trick people into buying. It's that audience person, that type needs the information. They want to start working out. They want to create a podcast. They want to build an n8n workflow. If they're building an n8 workflow, they're a beginner, so you can create content for that beginner. If they're experienced, you create that. If they want to create a podcast, here's the list of the best equipment. You know, it's content that's targeted towards that audience type. It gives them what they need right when they need it. So in my opinion, while it's a little painful to make this switch, the opportunities truly are massive. The Echo process, real quickly, it's pretty simple in this high-level view. Step one is we're discovering. So I've mentioned that we have these DNA reports. We have a brand DNA, audience DNA, and competitive DNA. We take that information. We also are scraping sites and mapping out their pages and creating content opportunities from there. So we're discovering, then we're strategizing. We're taking a couple of different approaches and may do more later, where we're doing audience-driven strategies, which is what I've been talking about, along with a bottom-up sort of pillar page strategy where we have a pillar page and then we're creating supporting content around it based on a customer awareness journey. I suspect that we will add a competitive strategy as well and more as we go along. So we've discovered, we're strategizing, and then we're creating. Obviously, all this doesn't do much good if you don't create. So we're going to use, of course, our AI platforms to generate content, whether it be written or video. And just for the record, so I'm not suggesting that we're at the point where we just click go and AI generates content that's perfect. I'm not saying that. But we do have the power and capabilities to create a lot of content, get the human involved, and then put it out there and meet your audience's needs. And then finally, as I was just saying, is distribute. So we've discover, strategize, create, and distribute. Distribute where they are, and that gives you your Echo process. It's all built on n8n. We use NoCodeDB for the backend database, and then of course there's bunches of LLMs throughout that are doing LLM type stuff. So that's the Echo process. How do you get Echo? Simple. Join the WotAI.co Circle community. Alex Kim, who is an n8n ambassador, and I created this community. Our intention was to create an engaging community of like-minded people who wanted to build workflows using n8n and AI tools, and build workflows that actually produce real results. So something that would give a return on investment. So we have agencies and we have entrepreneurs and all kinds of different people, but all of them engaged in building workflows and AI automated stuff. So if you're ready to evolve your content strategy, you can join us. We'd definitely love to have you. And again, what you get with Echo is you get the brand, audience, and competitive DNA analysis, different content strategies, creation workflows, and multi-platform publishing. Also, when you join the community, you get monthly collaborative workflow builds. That's where this came from, and it actually has turned into quite the project. But you get workflows that we build per month based on community involvement. You get advanced n8n workflows and training. You get access to Alex, who is, again, an n8n ambassador, and to me. So hopefully between the two of us, we can answer any of the questions you may have. And then you get access to workflows that you can implement immediately. So community members are posting workflows. Alex is. For example, recently I posted one. It was a content creation system that used Airtable. someone wanted it to work in NoCodeDB, and a community member did that. So that's the kind of community that we have. So love to see you there. The way you join is go to wotai.co/community, and of course I will have a link in the description and in a pinned comment. What's coming up? As you already have seen, I did not show any of the workflows, and I'm going to do that through individual videos. So the first one is going to be the Echo brand DNA, followed by audience, competitive DNA, and then how to set the system up, which we've actually created a pretty powerful workflow that I haven't seen anywhere on just setting up the system. Those are some of the things that you have to look forward to. I'll just end with saying, if you're interested in this, please subscribe. That'll give you an opportunity to know when I'm releasing these videos. I sincerely hope that you join the WotAI community. It's a great spot. It's very engaging, and you get access to Echo. So thank you very much for watching. I sincerely appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.